I know they don't. It's just not right. Not right at all, but it is what it is. Hey, welcome back. My name is Michael. I'm your host. This is FBTV Radio Live. Just talking about the EIDL loan, or loans, I should say, that a lot of people have applied for. They're being refused. Going to be talking about that here coming up. Hertz filed for bankruptcy. Don't know if you heard about this. Hertz Global Holdings, Inc. Yeah, the rental car company founded with a dozen Ford Model Ts over 100 years ago, filed for bankruptcy here just a few days ago. Travel restrictions, the economic collapse, the coronavirus, well, that's that's what's driving all this. Chapter 11 was filed in Delaware. That's going to allow Hertz to keep operating while it devises a plan to pay creditors and get the business turned around. To get the business turned around, the airport's going to have to start flying. I say airports, but you know what I mean. The planes are going to have to be up in the air. And that could be kind of iffy. Now, I wasn't a big flyer before all this happened. Matter of fact, it's been probably 10 years since I was flying a lot. I used to fly around all over the country, going to different client locations for Tautoa. But about 10 years ago, we put a stop to that. It just got too nuts, too crazy. You know, going to airports, having to go through, take your shoes off, take your belts off. It just got nuts. It still is that way. But now that the coronavirus, I just don't know. People are smarter than me, obviously, but I don't see how anyone would really cherish the thought of getting on an airplane with whoever else may be on an airplane, breathing the same air that's recirculating. It just don't make, not my idea of a good time. Mask, no mask, whatever you want to do. But anyway, they filed for bankruptcy, and hopefully things will come back around. But I think the airports are going to have to start hopping again. Airplanes are going to have to be flying to be able to actually get the rental car business out of the hole. Could this be the end of Hertz? We'll know. We will know within the next couple of years anyway, right? All right. Okay, good news. Yesterday, the House passed the PPP bill, giving small businesses more time to pay, giving them more money to spend on other things besides payroll. The Paycheck Protection Program getting some flexibility. Bipartisan bill. The House overwhelmingly passed yesterday. Now, this bill is going to be headed to the Senate, and the Senate will be voting on that as early as next week, really expecting it to pass. Now, some of the key changes in this bill is what a lot of people we were wanting. Lower to 60% from 75%, the minimum portion of the PPP loan that must be spent on payroll. That never made any sense anyway. 60% is still kind of high, but very manageable now. Because the extension where it was 8 weeks, now it's been a 24-week period that the amount of time the loan can cover. So that's going to really help out everything. Now the rest, the 40% must be spent on rent, utilities, or other business-related expenses. So that's going to help out a lot of people. Now another thing too, it's going to extend the period for repayment from 2 to 5 years if the amount that the government provided you in the PPP doesn't convert to a grant. So that is expected to pass. We'll know more about that next week. Now here's kind of a bumfuddler. Don't make a lot of sense if you ask me. But who am I, right? Who am I? EIDL loan. Okay, you got two loans that was going through the SBA. You got the PPP and the EIDL. Every business person out there, they applied for each. PPP had a question on there, and it said, in the past, 5 years, have you been convicted of a felony or anything like that? EIDL loan, on their application, it flat out asked, at any point in your life, have you been convicted of a crime? Now, I'm paraphrasing, but you get the idea. Well, an SBA insider had a slide that was making the rounds. I think it was on one of those social media things, Reddit or something like that, but they put up a slide that was an internal memo, and that memo stated, now the internal memo of the SBA is what I'm talking about. It stated if the arrest was greater than 10 years old and a misdemeanor, approved the loan. If the arrest was less than 10 years old, decline the loan. If there is any type of a felony arrest, automatic decline. So, the same organization, SBA, two different rules they go by. For the PPP, not so strict. But for the EIDL, very strict. Now, one SBA spokesperson did not dispute the authenticity of the slide. However, they said the information on the slide was incorrect. The SBA spokesperson said that an applicant with a felony conviction within the past 5 years would be declined. Now, you can do a search on the internet. You can look all over the place. Do EIDL loan refusals. And you're going to find story after story after story of loans being refused to people that had a past criminal record. Matter of fact, there's a story out of Nashville. You can look it up on News Channel 5 out of Nashville, Tennessee. There's a story about a young man there that got arrested, when he was 23 years old or something like that for drugs. He came out, and he's rebuilt his life, has had a thriving business, people working for them, has been a pillar of the community, really involved in all kinds of community activities, helping youth stay out of jail, getting their life straight, doing everything he can. But he got refused for the EIDL loan. Now, your character isn't good enough. So on one hand, it's great, but on the other hand, no. On the one hand, these businesses that employ people, that pay their taxes, they pay their taxes. Yes, they may have had a criminal past from when they were young, but if they've turned their life around, they're actually helping people. You know, people can change. Well, too bad. Too bad for you. Too bad for you. You made mistakes when you were young. Too bad. No EIDL loan. Close your business. We don't care what happens to you. We don't care what happens to your staff. We don't even care about the tax money you've paid all these years that the government's not going to get anymore. This is nuts. This is really, really nuts. Okay. I was talking about this EIDL loan the other day. How one person I know, they got, $37,000 approval. Going through that, it was going to be a 3.75% loan over a 30-year period. The payments were going to be $179 a month, I believe. That didn't start for 12 months. That would help a lot of people. Everybody's got a past, especially. I hate to say it, and I'm not pointing fingers, but I think I read somewhere 1 in 3 people, 33% of the people in this country have a past criminal record of some sort. So 33% of you, if you have your own business, you're not going to be approved for the loan. You know, at least from the information we're getting, and I really hope we're wrong. I really hope that all this is wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. All right. Kind of weird. Kind of off the wall. I don't get it. And there's nobody to... There's really nobody to even talk to about it. Because if you have been convicted of a past crime, well, politicians don't care, I don't believe. You see what I'm saying? Your vote don't count. If it did, they'd be lining up to give you the money. And that's sad. I just don't get that. You're paying your taxes. Yes, you may have had past troubles. May have, went to prison, whatever. But if you've turned your life around, you're a successful business person. And I'm going to just say it. I know a lot of owner-operators that have a criminal background. They're good people. They just made mistakes. Well, these people that are owner-operators now, they've been successful, but due to the coronavirus and the shutdown, they can't make their truck payments, can't make their trailer payments. They can't get approved for an EIDL loan because of their past. That's not right. That is just not right. Tell you what, if you are I don't want to say victim, but it almost sounds like people getting refused for these loans due to their past, and they've turned their life around. If you're one of these people that have been refused for EIDL and you've turned your life around and you're successful, well, regardless, if you got an EIDL story, yeah, let us hear about it. You can write to me. Send us an email at fbtv@freightbrokertv.com or call and leave your story on our studio line, 479-668-0213. We'll edit it. Don't worry about it. We will make it sound good. But we'd like to hear from you. We'd like to hear your story. All right. This is FBTV Radio Live. Coming up next, well, it's Trucker's Story. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Welcome back to the Dog Show. Up next, we have Satchmo. Satchmo is a member of the Shelter Pet Group.
That's right, a group known especially for their couch-snuggling, ball-chasing, face-licking, tail-wagging, backyard-hanging, and, of course, companionship.
And what breed would you say Satchmo is?
I'd have to go with maybe a lavish terrier-hound chihuahua-looking kind of mix.
Tremendous dog.
I'd also like to point out Satchmo's coloring, a white, gray, brown, black brindle, simply marvelous.
You know, it's such a treat to watch a dog like this.
Now, let's see him in action.
Look how he makes eye contact with his person.
That's actually known as the treat stare.
How intuitive. And now he appears to be excitedly turning in circles.
Ah, the happy dance, so common with this group.
And finally, the loving face lick.
It's great how he just gets in there and, well, licks.
Fantastic. But really, the best way to know an amazing shelter pet like Satchmo is to meet one.
Visit theshelterpetproject.org today. Adopt.
Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
How you doing? This is Mike, host of the FBTV podcast radio show, and yeah, I'm the mug you see on the FBTV YouTube videos. Now, in addition to all of that, I'm the lead consultant at Tautoa. Tautoa is a transportation and logistics training and consulting firm. We've been training and consulting freight brokers for over 20 years. Not only freight brokers, but freight broker agents as well. We have a number of different packages that provide no travel, in-depth live training, guaranteed placement, mentoring, and consulting. Now, if you've been thinking about entering the transportation industry as a freight broker or freight broker agent, well, we hope you take a few minutes and check us out. You can visit our website at tautoa.com. That's TALTOA.com. Or call us at 479-668-0838. That's 479-668-0838. At Tautoa, your success is our success. Broadcasting from a double-wide mobile home in the middle of a cow pasture, this is FBTV Radio.